What would you do if saving your country meant betraying the one man who trusted you most? Not an enemy, not a stranger, a friend. This is the story of Julius Caesar and the man who helped end his life, Marcus Junius Brutus. History remembers it as betrayal. But betrayal is never that simple. Because sometimes you don't choose between right and wrong. You choose between two things that both feel right and live with the consequences. In ancient Rome, power wasn't just influence, it was survival. Rome had one rule burned into its identity: no kings, no absolute rulers. Never again. Then came Caesar, a general who didn't just win wars, he reshaped the world. He expanded Rome's borders. He filled its treasury. He earned something rare: the love of the people. But power changes how people see you. The same crowds that cheered him also made others nervous. Because popularity can turn into control, and control can turn into something else. Standing close to Caesar was Brutus, not just a senator, not just an ally, someone Caesar trusted, someone who had access to him in ways others didn't. Brutus believed in Rome, not just the land, but the idea, a republic, where no single man could dominate everyone else. So now he stood in a difficult place, loyal to a man, but committed to a system. And those two loyalties were starting to collide. After civil war, Caesar emerged stronger than ever, untouchable. Then came the title that changed everything: dictator for life. To some, it was recognition. To others, it sounded like the beginning of a monarchy, the very thing Rome had sworn to destroy. In private rooms, behind closed doors, men began to talk. Quietly at first, carefully. One of them was Gaius Cassius Longinus, sharp, observant, already convinced Caesar had gone too far. He didn't want debate. He wanted action. The idea was extreme. Not exile. Not removal from office. Execution. But there was a problem. Without Brutus, this would look like ambition. With Brutus, it could look like principle. Cassius approached him carefully, not with threats, with questions. Do you trust Caesar? Do you trust what he might become? That night, Brutus couldn't rest. Not because he had answers, but because he didn't. He thought about Caesar, the conversations, the respect, the trust. Then he thought about Rome. What happens when one man cannot be challenged? He wasn't choosing between friend and enemy. He was choosing between two futures. And slowly, his loyalty began to shift. Not because he stopped caring about Caesar, but because he believed something else mattered more. Brutus joined the conspiracy. The moment he did, there was no turning back. The plan was simple. Wait for the right moment, strike quickly, leave no chance for resistance. March 15. The Ides of March. Caesar walked toward the Senate. Normal day, normal routine. At least, on the surface. Some say he had warnings. Others say he ignored them. Either way, he kept walking. The room was waiting. Not loud, not chaotic, just still. Then movement, hands reaching, voices overlapping. A blade, then another. Caesar tried to respond. Confusion more than fear. Trying to understand why. Then he saw him. Brutus. Everything slowed. Not the room. Just that moment. You too, Brutus. And just like that, it was over. The conspirators stepped back, breathing hard, waiting. They thought Rome would understand, that people would see this as justice. They didn't. The city turned. One man stood at the center of the response, Mark Antony. Words turned into anger. Anger turned into war. At the Battle of Philippi, Brutus lost. No speech, no dramatic rescue, just a decision. He took his own life. He tried to save Rome, but Rome still fell into empire. So what was it? A necessary act or a tragic mistake? If you were in his place, would you have protected your friend or your country?